What's the good and the bad of this picture? Let's talk about what the good is. What might be the good thing that you see that might be just coming off the top of your head that you think might be a good thing that's going on as it relates to this? Yes, you're separating assets. We have several limited partnerships. You're going to learn that when it comes to limited partnerships and limited liability companies, you will never have just one limited partnership. You're likely always going to have two or more, and you're going to learn why that is, and these people understand that. Another thing you're going to be learning, of course, is the reason why you're going to have several limited partnerships is because you're going to be making sure that everything is not all in one place. You're going to find that you're going to be separating assets that don't trigger lawsuits from those kinds of assets that do trigger lawsuits. Brokerage accounts, savings accounts, and CDs don't trigger lawsuits. But real estate properties, automobiles, airplanes, helicopters trigger lawsuits. So we keep those separate from each other. But here's one, what might be a negative of what you look on this, and some of you don't know where I'm going with this, and I want to be very quick, so I want to show you that. See this property over here on the right? That big building? We're just putting that in there as a picture, but what if that entire facility was in just one limited partnership? That might be a little bit risky. In other words, you're going to learn that sometimes these properties, when they create their own lawsuits inside their own limited partnerships, it may be so serious that the judge will completely wipe everything out in that one limited partnership. And so you're going to learn that in some cases you can actually use advanced strategies on specific properties by condominiumizing the properties. You may end up actually having so many floors in one limited partnership, so many floors in another limited partnership. You may actually even have the property that the building is sitting on in another limited partnership. First of all, you need to understand right off the bat that a limited partnership and a general partnership are not the same. We talked about this yesterday. General partnerships are a form of doing business. General partnerships are allowed by state statute. They say they're an association of two or more persons to carry on as co-owners for profit. So let's say that what was your name? Mike. Let's say that Mike and I decide that we want to go into a general partnership. So I'm a partner and Mike's a partnership. And the reason we're going into this partnership is because one of us has the money and one of us has the brains. We're not going to decide which one of those it is, right? So what happens is that we're going to be going into this business together. So what counts as a partner is either individuals or even partnerships or even corporations or even associations. So we're going to go into business now. We are governed by state statute. It is true that there are specific statutes that allow a general partnership to exist, and they follow the Uniform Partnership Act. However, what if you actually don't have one? You could actually exist without specific state statutes or formal agreement. What I really specifically want you to understand there is, what if Mike and I decide to go in and do this business together and we don't actually write a formal agreement? But remember we talked about form and substance? Form and substance. We may have not gotten around to actually draw up the form, but the substance of the matter is we have a partnership, and so that's how we're going to be treated accordingly. The court may actually rule that the partnership therefore exists in spite of the fact of what we wanted. Now let me get ahead of the game just a little bit so you'll understand. What if Mike and I decided that we wanted to go into a limited partnership, but we didn't set up an actual formal agreement? You're going to find in a few minutes that in order to have a limited partnership, you have to have a formal agreement. You must actually have an agreement saying you are a limited partnership, because if you do not, by default, we will be automatically classified as a general partnership. That's right, because general partnerships don't have to have a formal agreement, so therefore they're going to say we are. But a limited partnership must have it, or you're not going to be classified as such.